and welcome back to Court Farm. Having completed our move to home farm, today we need to weed the linseed we planted yesterday, feed the cows and sheep, and sell the fermented silage bales we have sitting down at the BGA. If we make enough money, we might even be able to buy another field. Let's get farming. So first up today, I want to get rid of the weeds that we've got on the linseed. We're going to go and grab our tractor and head down to the shop. We should be able to get a... Well, actually, I want to get the one from the horse pack. So we're going to grab that one from down there. It's the Transformer 2 VF is the one I'm after. It should allow us to do the field fairly quickly and get ourselves moving. Having cleared that out... I want to go and cut the grass on a couple of the other fields. So we've got a big square field and a sort of a small rectangular field on our new farm. And both of those should be able to produce a load of grass for us. We can get a grass bale or two off there. That will feed the sheep and get them fully topped up. And then we should be able to create some more silage. I'm actually thinking of bringing back a silage bale or two from down here when we sell. That way we can create some TMR for the cows if we're lucky. If we can get a mixing wagon, that would be absolutely great as well. But money is very much of forefront in my mind. And I want to get another field. All of the fields around us, though, are currently planted with crops. So we're going to have to buy a field with the crop already in it. I was hoping to plant myself some rye or some field beans today. But, yeah, none of the fields we have around us are clear of crops anymore. And if I'm buying a field with a load of crop in, I kind of want to keep that crop there because it will be... more useful to us and a better setup. Of course, we still have our baler down here. I completely forgot our new baler is sitting down here as well. So we need to get this home at some point too. Let's pop into the shop though. And nothing in the used stuff today that's much use. That case header might become useful at some point. We'll have to keep an eye on that. If that's still there later, when we've got some money in and we know how much we've got, and we maybe have a little bit of extra, yeah, we might grab that because combine is something we are very much going to need further down the road now. But what we're down here to come and get is this. This is the Horse Transformer 12 VF. There are cheaper ones here. We could very much grab a cheaper weeder. And there are actually, which one is the hoe? Yeah, this one. So 51,000 for the chop star at 9 meters, 12 meters on the horse. So yeah, but that's the only one we can use because that's the only one that has the hoeing set up on it. And oh, it's actually more horsepower requirement than we have. Is that true of both of them? That's not true of both of them. I really want to try out this horse because I love this. It's a really good one. I can't do it. It's so expensive and it just doesn't fit our farm. The N-Bock is the one I'm going to have to go for. So we will lease this for 51,000. You see, it's going to cost us nearly 4,000 to use the other one. So yeah. It's going to be the N-Bock. Not what I expected to do at all today. But the horsepower on this tractor is only 240, I think. So we're going to... It would be a way over. I don't mind being like 5 horsepower over. But being 10, that is a little bit of a struggle for me. We'll hold on to this as well. Like lots of our stuff today, we are very much, or like much of our stuff on the farm, we're holding on to the leased stuff. Because we have the lease to buy mods, so we eventually will hopefully be able to buy all of this stuff. But also because we're going to be weeding other fields as well. So got this back down to the farm. There's a good amount of mud around here still. And where's the best place to start on this field? This field comes right up into the farm, and it's one of those things where I'm never quite sure exactly how far to come up. But we should be able to come into here like so, down. And because this is a hoe, it should get rid of all of these slightly larger and well-developed weeds. And we don't have to go and get an expensive sprayer with the spot spraying in order to do this as a result. It's not quite as well, it's not quite as high an environment score as actually using the spot sprayer, but it's a whole lot better than leaving these weeds. This is such an odd-shaped field that I have to do this part of it uphill like this. Having cleared that off of the weeds, we can start going across the field further down. So then we're going with the actual slope. And you can see here that it then, because of the way you're going around and doing that first headland, means we can get straight across this field. It's very possible it had been through this a lot quicker with the horse one, but it does require a higher horsepower than this, and this one is not doing too bad. The Einbach is a decent weeder and works fairly well for me. 138 is the angle that I've kind of figured out that the bottom of this field is at. One of the interesting things of playing at 1 day months is working out the time-dependent things that I absolutely have to do each day. If I had 2 or 3 days per month to do stuff, then I would have a little bit more leeway. But things like these weeds, the part of the reason why I've gone for these weeds straight up today is because today is the only day I can do them, and I can't risk getting to the end of the day and no longer being able to get these weeded, because then we're stuck with weeds for the whole of our harvest. Or I have to go and get a load of herbicide and settle that up, which would give me more leeway, admittedly, to have a sprayer and do them at another time. But as I said, this is the cheaper way for me to do everything. So getting those time-dependent stuff done first, I find is a really important aspect to all of this. So I'm very, very happy now to have got these weeds done, and for us to be able to go and do one of the other jobs we need to do. I think we might go and sell the silage next, because if we can get that silage sold, we can then get another field, and if it does need rolling, we'll then have the time to do that. And of course, that is another time-dependent job for us to do. I think the only thing that disappoints me about this farm so far is that we have a workshop space in here that I don't think has any workshop set up. So yeah, lots and lots of workshop here, but no way of actually using it as a workshop. It's not built into this farm. I have just turned on the interactive markers you can see over there, because I had them turned off for recording my roleplay. And yeah, there is nowhere around here that would be a workshop. So maybe I can get a mod and install it in here that makes this into a workshop. But it's a little bit annoying at the moment that I can't do that. Before we continue, this video is brought to you in partnership with the awesome people at Apex Gaming PCs. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to create my own custom line of PCs suitable for everybody from beginner farmers to virtual farming experts. Apex Gaming PCs are offering up to $250 off your next purchase just by using my link in the description below. So go check them out. So with our immediate time-dependent job sorted, we can come down here to the BGA and start making a bit of money. As I said, I might get one of these bales, or a couple of these bales, up to the top to feed the cows, but we can't feed the cows silage directly. So that will require a mixing wagon as well. I think it all depends on how much money we end up with here. Now, the best place for silage at the moment is Folly Down Bales at 312. We obviously have dropped all of these off at the BGA. So let's see what the BGA price for silage is. Biogas plant is 306 versus 312. So it's not a massive difference between the two. Not so much of a difference that I'm going to worry about loading all of these back up and getting them down to Folly Down Bales. So, yeah, we've got them at the BGA. This is where we want to sell them. Now is the moment of truth. Have we managed to improve our environmental score to the point where we're going to get a really good bonus for this? Whoa. Off my spikes. And hopefully that will put all of them into the sell point. Yes, we're now in the positives with the environmental score. That is brilliant. This is the last three. Well, we've got 6 bales left. If we put these 3 in, hold the last 3 back for feeding cows. We've got 1 floating over here because the 2 underneath it have been sold. So that drops down. Get those sold. And then that will drop down because my forks are close enough. And 11,676. That is absolutely brilliant. So where does that leave us in buying a field? As I said, the 2 that I've really got my eye on are 59 and 58, both of which have crops in them. In fact, all of the fields around us have crops in them now. We've got how much for these 2? So farmland 136. That is 121,000. We still need another 10,000 to buy that one. And this one is 124,000. Look at the yield potential, though, on 94. That would be an absolutely perfect field for us to grab. So I don't mind borrowing 15,000 if it means we can buy it. How much does that take us? So we're keeping our loan actually really well under control at the moment. And then I'm going to invest in field 58 because that currently has that field bean. Oh, that has field bean in it. So yes, we definitely want that with that potential. Let's buy that land then for 124,000. That only leaves us with 1,732. But that's not the end of the world. Let's have a look at the state of this field. Does it need to be rolled? So it's got no weeds in it at the moment. Does it need rolling? It doesn't need rolling either. It doesn't need plowing. That's actually really good. Knowing that these fields here don't need plowing, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's really, really good. It is full of stones. So it might be a good idea to roll it just to get rid of those stones, maybe. But otherwise, yeah, that's really, really good. So now I need probably a feeding wagon, I think. So we've got quite a lot of options here. We don't have a huge number of cows. Yeah, I think that little Strollman Vertimix 1050 holds only 10,500 litres. But will mix things for us fairly well and is very cheap compared to all of our other options that we've got around here. You can probably borrow it without too much cost. I think I'm going to get a little bit of a splash of extra colour on there for that. License plate. Right, let's lease that. £459. Seems so very little to spend on leasing that. So we'll bring the Fent down to the shop and pick that up. And we'll head over to the BGA to put one of the silage bales into it. Am I going to have to borrow a load of money to get a hay bale? Round hay bale, no, that's 980. I don't know how much is in that. 450 litres, actually, 4,500 litres. So that should actually be fine. So let's grab a silage bale off the top here. Right, down on the floor. Take it off. Because, yeah, I'd like to unwrap it first. Now, this takes 10,000. We've got 4,500 here, 5,500 here. So load that up. That should then go into the mix there. Yep. And has that fully gone in? Yes, that has. Right, let's get the silage bale in then and see how much this takes. Does this take 11,000 litres? No. Okay, let's get this back up to the farm and we'll see if we need to go and do that again. Back to the farm with it, and we should come straight in. And the cows are over here. What side is my tip side at the moment? Oh, there we go. Tip side left, tip side right. So we want tip side left. So we should be able to empty this oh, there we go. There we are. That's emptying out now. Straight in with our cows. And we've not got many cows, so I'm expecting even just 10,000 litres to last us quite a while. And yeah, 9,900. So it's not a huge amount. It might last them a day or so. I think we want to buy 2 more bales, for 2 more hay bales, and get the rest of our silage bales. So the 2 silage bales we got, we want to get those back here as well. And yeah, that will then give us a good amount of feed. Also, I don't want to drive through that end. Look how dirty I've made my mixing wagon already. A couple of people were mentioning in the comments in the video where I bought this FarmTech trailer that they thought that I might end up having a little bit of fun getting it, or getting such a long trailer in and out of all the narrow gateways on this map. Thankfully, I've not really had it to use on many narrow gateways so far, but you are right, it would be a pain to get in and out of those. Thankfully, yeah, nothing that I'm doing now seems to require moving in and out of the narrower gateways on the map. So I'm quite happy with the trailer. I do say that as I'm bringing it into here. And we'll have to let the forklift pass just quickly. There we go. He's passed. Let's bring this around here. But we should be able to maneuver this around these buildings and everything here just to load up these bales. So bring it round. And yeah, it works fairly well. It works for what I need, this trailer. And I'm not looking to take it into any of the smaller fields. So as a result, we should be okay. Right, let's go and buy a couple of hay bales. But first, let's borrow another 5,000. So we're up to 320,000. And we'll buy a couple of these. So buy those. Yes. And then we just need to load those up onto the trailer. Get them back down to our farm. Into forward and spike it. Spike both of these next to each other so that they're nice and low on the trailer. And then we'll go and grab the remaining 2 silage bales, get them on here as well. And we just need to remember that we need to keep some silage bales up at the farm to keep our cows happy. Right, lock those down. And we'll get all of this over to the BGA and get the silage bales loaded up. So drop these onto the trailer like so. And that should give us all of these back up to our main farm. Perfect. Lock them on. Wow, those will take, that one will take 2 straps. Right. And we can get this back up to the farm and feed the cows, hopefully for a few days, at least enough days to get them to the next point that we've made some silage. Speaking of the next time we're making some silage, I'm looking at the time and realizing that if we start cutting our grass now, we are not going to have enough time to get it rolled afterwards to prepare the field for the next time that we are going to cut it. So what I'm going to have to do is cut it tomorrow. That does mean that we're not going to get to feeding the sheep today because we won't have any grass, but we're not going to get the whole way round the field and get everything done if I do it that way today. So we're going to have to, we're going to have to leave the sheep grazing the grass for another day. I don't think that they will take that as feed, unfortunately, so they won't be producing any wool. But right now, it's for me, it's more important that we do the fields properly. So let's get this off here. And we'll get the cows fed and happy, and then we can look at doing the sheep tomorrow once we got some actual grass, and we'll get a grass bale or two done for them, and then we'll be in a really good position. That does mean that I will probably try and roll those stones in on our new field today. Because if we can get those rolled in, that will make a big difference. I also need to get that new field scanned. We need to scan it for the precision farming, otherwise that's going to drop everything as well. Let's disconnect this, and then we can go and hook it up to our feed mixing wagon. And yeah, we'll get 30,000 litres of feed in with our cows today. That's a really good system. I don't plan to actually make any hay bales myself. We will continually buy hay bales because we can make more off the silage bales. I think we can basically buy four or five hay bales for every silage bale that we sell. So yeah, it makes far more sense for us to do that. Is this going to empty? Not there. There we go. So yeah, TMR is looking good, and we've got just one more load to go, and actually it empties out really fast. Silage bale in as well, and after this first year's harvest we will actually be able to put a little bit of straw in here as well, and that will add another 1,000, well, another 50 litres into it, which will be a good mix and will save us a little bit of money each time. Not a huge amount, but just enough to top it off. You add that in on a regular basis, and actually, yeah, it'll be 500 litres that will add every time. So that will make a big difference overall over time. But we'll only need one straw bale occasionally to do it. It'll be absolutely perfect. And that will come off the linseed. I believe that linseed produces straw on here. And there we go. Yeah, 29,000 litres. That should keep our 8 cows going for a while. So next time we really need to get some feed into our Welsh mountain sheep. We have we've just not been able to feed them because I can't buy anything to feed them with. They don't take hay, they take grass only on here. And yeah, you cannot buy grass bales. So that is a bit of an issue. Let's put the mixing wagon in here. I've got somewhere to store bales down the far end of the farm, so that will all be good. I can't believe that I feel like I'm running out of space on here. I'm not, but I've just got to work out where the best place to store everything is. Because at the moment, I feel like I'm not storing everything where I should. As we've got a little bit of time on our hands then, and this field is full of little stones, I think we're going to try and give it a roll. It might work, it might not. We'll find out very quickly which is the case. But yeah, I think it's worth giving it a try. It will drop, or it will reduce the amount of wear that our equipment takes. And oh, wow, yeah, and it will roll. So fantastic. We'll get these stones rolled in then and sort this problem out, and also have the field set up exactly how I want it, pretty much. There is a patch of bigger stones sort of around there. I think those are mediums rather than large. We can't do anything about them this year, but we will have to get a stone picker on them and clear them out before next year, I think. Which is not a horrible thing. It's going to cost us a bit of money to grab hold of a stone picker, but if we get the smallest one, we should be all right. My biggest worry is I'm not sure I can stone pick on harvested ground. I think I have to do it on ground that's been cultivated or plowed, which is incredibly annoying. I don't have a cultivator. I purposefully don't have a cultivator on here. I like doing direct seeding and direct working fields, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue for us. It's going to cause a problem if we're unable to pick that without cultivating it. We might actually have to get a cultivator just to do that tiny patch of stones. There we go. That should have dealt with 95% of the stones on this field. We've got a couple of big patches, plus there's a couple of bits of overlap where I didn't quite get the small stones, but that has cleared up the worst of it and has allowed me to roll this field. So that is all good. I'm very happy with that. I'm just going to go down this headland here and the headland down the far end to finish this off. And then we'll head back up to the farm and see if there's anything else I need to do on here today. Oh, there is something else I need to do on here today. We need to go and get our baler from down at the shop. On my way down here, I've had an idea for what we can do to sort the sheep out today. All I need to do is cut some grass into a bale and drop that bale off into the sheep pen. We could possibly do a few. I don't need to do it from where I actually want to be doing silage. So if we come into here, we should be able to turn off. Is there a way to turn this off so that we can't, so that we're not wrapping a bale? I don't think there is. But that should be okay, because even if we wrap it, it should still be counted as grass. So we're going to give this a try. Otherwise, we're going to have to get another baler just to do the sheep. Or we'll have to get a forage wagon to do the sheep. Either one I think would work. So here's my plan. We're going to stick the front mower on here. We're going to go and cut around the edge of the sheep field. And once we've cut enough to generate a bale, we will go and drop that bale off at the sheep feeding trough, and maybe that will be enough to keep the sheep going for a while. It certainly should be a good way for us to do things should the sheep just suddenly need food. And yeah, there's plenty of space around this field for the sheep. So let's unfold the mower and unfold the baler as well. Then we'll close the gate. And we'll just go and cut around the edge of this field quickly. See if we can do a bale, and that way we should get our sheep fed as well today, which would be the best thing I could ask for right now. Okay, so we nearly have a full bale. Let's lift the front and turn it off. Well, we'll fold it up. Hopefully that'll be enough. Nope, we need a little bit more. So unfold the mower, turn it back on, go a little bit further, Turn it off and lift it. I'm trying to get pretty much an exact amount. Right, so that will now... that will now wrap that. But I'm hoping that the wrapped bale that comes out of the back of it is basically still counted as grass. Now, I know from previous experience, I don't want to try and unwrap it. We just want to drop it off here and hopefully it will go in as grass. So let's bring this here and unload. Is that going to work? Is that in the right place? I'm not even sure that's in the right place. That's the trouble. So that is grass. That is counting as a grass bale. We just need to grab this from over here and see if it'll go in. If this doesn't, I am going to need a forage wagon because I've got no other way of feeding the sheep if I can't use my wrapped grass bales to do it, because I've no way of turning the wrapper off, and yeah, I've therefore no way of preventing these getting wrapped. All right, let's try it. In it goes, and yes, look at that. Fantastic. And one bale was enough to do it. And yeah, they should hopefully get or use all of that before they go any further. So brilliant. That works. We only need to go and grab one bale every so often to feed our sheep. And it should use all that bale up, hopefully, before it fully ferments. I just need to put these away, and then we've got one last job to do today. Now that the sheep are fed and going, detach all of that. Oh, catch that. Catch hoses. There we go. Once we've got that all done, all we need to do now is get the water to our sheep. And that will be the animals fed. I did not think we were going to manage that today. I absolutely thought I wasn't going to be able to do the silage. So as a result, I wasn't going to be able to feed the sheep. But we can. We have done it. We've worked out a way to do it, and it takes only a single bale. So we'll refill this with water and go and give the sheep some of that to finish them off. There we are. That's full. Let's go and empty this out. And that has been a very productive day on the farm. I am amazed at how much we got done today. We've managed to weed our crops. We've managed to get a new field and roll that thanks to selling all of the silage bales. We've worked out a way to actually feed the sheep that isn't going to cause us a big problem in the long run. So that's absolutely perfect as well. And yeah, now we fed them as well. Now we should be able to give them water as well. And yeah, the cows are fed too. That is brilliant. So I'm going to leave this here for today. All that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.